What's up to Lion Talk Live? We love you too, buddy.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
What's going on, Coach Dan at Lions Talk Live and the Duke Crew. This is Ball Hawk Ifeatu Melifonwu of the Detroit Lions. Everybody make sure you help support the YouTube channel Lions Talk Live by clicking that like and subscribe button. Let's get it and go Detroit.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live and Coach Dan by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
I love nothing more than watching Lions Talk Live every morning. Woo!
All right, well, greetings and salutations, everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host, once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for coming in here today. Hey, Lions Talk Live. It is the day after the AFC and NFC championship games. What'd you think about those? You know, I've talked about it for a long time on this channel, maybe even since the start of this channel. I don't think the NFL intentionally throws games, but it doesn't mean if they don't get an opportunity to rear their ugly head and maybe help influence the end of a game, that they might just do that. We'll probably talk about that a little bit today. I'm sure you guys will have some thoughts on it. You might even know what I'm talking about. And hey, the NFL is a business. I get it. All businesses want to watch their bottom line. That is something that will be in the 5 headlines today. So we'll dive into that a little bit deeper into the well of despair and conspiracy theories during the 5 headlines today. All right, main topic today, as you saw from the thumbnail, we're going to play a little bit of game. Yes, see what you guys think about it. We all get it. Hey, this team's got a lot of money set up for the future, roughly $60 million in cap space. Yes, we've got the draft. Now we got 7 draft picks. So what do you do with some of these guys that we have that are no longer under contract with the team? You know, we'll get into it and see what the Duke Crew has to say about it. Before we get into all that, though, the 5 headlines now, the main topic of the day, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We are literally, 15 subs away from hitting the glorious 13,000. And yes, lucky 13. That was my playing number in high school. So I do enjoy 13. If you can help the channel and the Duke Crew get to 13,000, 15 away, please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you would be so kind, if you're watching the channel either live or later on, once it's on replay, please consider hitting the thumbs up button, the like button, all the buttons. As you know, it helps out everybody on YouTube exponentially. So if we can get that 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes, that would be most welcome. Last but never least, if you're considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan or continental United States, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text. You now see my number on your screen, 269-998-2384. Let's have a quick conversation, see what we can do to save you some time, save you some hassle, save you some money. Make the process of buying or selling property, and it can be vacant land, new house, commercial property, very easy for you and stress-free. All right, with all that said and done out of the way, let's get this show rocking and rolling and getting going, and let's head over to the first segment of the show, 5 headlines now. All right, we do not have all 5 headlines today. I know yesterday we gave you 6, so you know what? A law of averages you're going to get 4 today. Veteran pass rusher makes plea to stay with Lions next season. Story by Javin Alford of Fanside. Most of you guys probably already know this one, but you know what? Not everybody does, so I wanted to run with it, and we were a little short on other, I thought, compelling headlines, so I wanted to go with it. Zadarius Smith, he's enjoying his time being a Detroit Lion. Yes, he has a very cap-friendly hit next year at roughly $5 million. I'm going to guess the Lions are going to maintain him. I know there's been some speculation of potentially him being let go. Same with DJ Reader. I just don't see either one of them going. Defensive line, it would be my opinion, you can have your own opinion, is going to be a priority for this team going forward. Whether you're signing other people's free agents, you're drafting players, etc. Both of them can play. Both of them are impactful. I don't think either one of them is going to be let go. Yes, Zadarius may be more of a rotational piece, but you know that may not be a bad thing. When he goes, he can motor. And whether or not you're asking him to play 25 snaps a game or 65 snaps a game. I guess we'll leave that for the coaching staff to debate, but I'm going to guess he does have a role here next year. All right. Speaking of things that influence decisions, Detroit businesses reeling from economic blow of Lions playoff exit. MLive was on this one, MLive.com, multiple different reporters. So what I can say is we were just talking about yesterday's AFC and NFC playoff game, and I'm going to guess most people across national media will be talking about a number of key calls once again regarding the Kansas City Chiefs. Do I think the game is overtly fixed? No. Do I think the NFL absolutely 1,000 billion% wants the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl? Yes, I do. Patrick Mahomes, we all get it. He gets calls no other quarterback would get. If what happened to Jared Goff against the Washington Commanders happened to Patrick Mahomes, they probably would have unmercifully beheaded the Commanders linebacker on the sidelines and probably put him in jail or something. Probably would have been banned for the rest of his career against ever playing in the NFL again. That being said, that kind of stuff reared its ugly head once again yesterday. You guys all saw a couple pass interferences that weren't called, surprisingly, and a fourth down conversion attempt that one official clearly had marked as, hey, it's a first down. And then when he saw the other official kind of, matriculating his way backwards to make sure it wasn't a first down, I kind of agree with you. So no huddle or anything. We just said, hey, it's not going to be a first down. And when you watch on the replay, I actually thought maybe it was Jim Nance, maybe it was Tony Romo, even point out, man, that ball looks like it touched the line. It got past it. And the fact that replay couldn't pick that up, hey, is what it is. But in regards to the Detroit Lions, by not having that NFC title game, championship game in Detroit, it did impact Detroit businesses. The first game of the playoffs, the ones that unfortunately we lost, that brought in roughly a projected $66 million to Metro Detroit. Think about how much that impacted businesses. Now, most businesses planned ahead thinking the Lions would be in the NFC championship game, did a lot of purchasing, orders, making sure things were stocked. It was a real economic downfall for the city of Detroit not having that game. Roughly, you're going to cost yourself anywhere from 40 to 60 million. I'm going to guess with the Lions were in the NFC championship game, that number may have skyrocketed closer to 70 million. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, Detroit Lions 2025 NFL Mock Draft 1.0, SI.com, story by Christian Bohr. Bohr, you guys get it. He covers the team exponentially quite a bit. He did have his first mock draft, and while he only did it for the first round, he did go ahead and say that he thought Ohio State product, I just forgot his name now. I cannot remember his name right now. The kid from Ohio State. Sorry, I just drew a blank. Sawyer, I think his name is. But anyways, he was going to be the draft pick for the Detroit Lions at 28, defensive end, edge rusher, etc. Do you think that's where the Lions go? In my mock draft, which I will have out this week, I don't have him, Jack Sawyer. Sorry, man. I just drew a blank on his name for a second. But I did not have him going to the Lions. I actually have a little bit lower currently grade on him. I think I've got more of a second round grade on him. But all will be revealed in time as we dive into the mock drafts, which are going to be coming this way left and right. You all get it across the league now that the Super Bowl is all but here. You're going to have more and more people putting out their mock drafts. Report, Detroit Lions interview Broncos coach for OC role. SB Nation story, Jeremy Risman with this story. And yes, the former, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, the former Western Michigan University grad, I'm partial to that because I coached there and I went to school there, but John Morton, not Johnny Morton. I know some people sent me stuff saying Johnny Morton's going to be our offensive coordinator. If you don't know who Johnny Morton is, he is a former Detroit Lions wide receiver from the 90s, part of the greatest show on turf that the Lions had during the 90s. It's not that guy, but he has coached with Dan Campbell before. Morton's 55, a native of Auburn Hills, Michigan, brings 27 years of coaching experience in both college and the professional ranks. He did work with MCDC and on Sean Payton's staff. I want to say it was like 2015 or something like that with New Orleans Saints. 2017. Sorry, I was close. He's also a USC, former USC coach under Pete Carroll during his time there. So he does bring in a lot of different experiences, worked for a bunch of different coaches. Might not be a bad hire if they decide to go that route. I still think they're going to keep it in-house, but I've been wrong before. What do you guys say about this one? Would it be somebody you'd be on board with them bringing in? Well, I guess let me know in the comments section. Just say why for yes and for no. I guess if you think John Morton, not Johnny Morton, should be the next OC. All right, with all that said and done out of the way, like I said, we're only going to have 4 headlines today. The rest of them I didn't think were that compelling, but maybe you would have. But anyways, going to go over now to the main topic of the day. All right, main topic of the day. What do we do with some of these free agents? We've got a gajillion guys that we could either re-sign or just let go. And I guess we're all going to have to put on our pseudo GM caps here and decide what to do here. There's going to be a couple people I think are more compelling than others. Some you're probably, just for example, Emmanuel Mosley, you're probably okay with just moving on from. It's no disrespect to Emmanuel Mosley. In my opinion, without getting into it and doing or diving into stuff that I don't really feel comfortable talking about on air, I think Emmanuel Mosley's career in the NFL is probably about done, and I wish him well, but let's see what you guys have to say. So, Emmanuel Mosley, do you think we should re-sign him or let him go? Why, or put EM-Y or EM-no in there? That way it's Emmanuel Mosley yes or Emmanuel Mosley no. I've given you my thought. I think it's time to just move on from him, but if you guys want him back, let me know. Probably one of the bigger ones out there will be Ife Melifonwu, the former third-round pick. Hey, he had a slow start to his career because of injuries. His rookie year got injured, played well, but got injured, was out for a lot of time. Second season, kind of the same thing, got injured a lot. Third season's when he really had his breakout. He was healthy it seemed like the first time ever, and he had a long run that third year where he was an impactful player. You guys remember down in Minnesota to win the NFC North for the first time. He makes the big pick. We're going into the last couple of seconds, slides down, and, hey, from there, history is made, Lions win the North, etc. And it wasn't just that moment. He had tons of moments. But going into this year, expectations were high for the safety, but unfortunately, an Achilles injury. Then when he finally kind of got around the Achilles injury, he had a hand injury. And then even in the playoff game against the Commanders, I want to say in the third quarter, he had a hamstring injury. So his downside is the fact he's just not available much. So if he yes, if he no, let me know in the comment section. Probably know where most of you are going to go on this one, but Kendall Vildor. He's always going to be remembered for the NFC Championship game. The pass, or the could have been, should have been interception that bounces off his face mask. Instead, it's caught by the 49ers down at whatever it was, the 1 or 2 yard line. And from there, the comeback is on for the 49ers. I'll probably say this forever. The Lions had multiple opportunities to ice that game. One on the fourth down prior to this. If Josh Reynolds holds on to that 4th down and 2 pass, you get the first down. You know what? You probably win that game and you're in the Super Bowl. If Kendall Vildor holds on to that interception, you know what? You probably win or get to the Super Bowl, win the game and get to the Super Bowl. So it is what it is. He's always going to be remembered for that, and probably Lions fans are never going to be kind to him because of it. But do you want him back or do you want him out of here? Let me know. Khalil Dorsey, I don't think there's much of a choice here. Unfortunately, just to the gruesome nature of his injury, it's probably going to take him a little time to get healthy. Could he be back next season? Absolutely. 1,000%. Is he going to be back at the start of the season? That's where I think it's probably no. He's 27. He's not, he's not over the top great. He's also not horrible as far as a cornerback. Depth guy, probably, always. I just don't see the Lions bringing him back because I think they're going to have some other options. Probably the next big one to consider for all of us, and I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday, is going to be Carlton Davis III. He's 28 years old. He's very physical. Man, he plays, I think, pretty dang well. Basically how you want the Lions want their cornerbacks to play. Physical line of scrimmage, contesting everything, pretty decent in run support. I do think if you're not going to resign, and this is my thoughts, doesn't have to be your thoughts, if you're not going to resign Ife Melifonwu, you're probably looking at resigning Carlton Davis and putting him in that spot for this year. Try to remember, there's really, I think, only a 2-year age difference between Ife and Carlton Davis as well, so there's that to consider. But CD3, yay or nay on that one? Not going to go through every single free agent on the team, just probably some of the bigger ones. Like, I really don't think Ezekiel Turner will be back. Ben Neiman, played okay. I don't think, if you can improve the depth either through the draft or free agency, you're probably looking to do that with both gentlemen. And again, no disrespect to them. The next one would probably be Derek Barnes. We talk about our linebackers need to be upgraded. Derek Barnes, I think most of us agree, his first 2, maybe 3 years in the league were not the most compelling. You could tell he was one of the rookies that needs time to kind of mature, adapt to the NFL, get up to speed. And, while he played well his rookie year in preseason, you can see once the regular season got here, it did impact him in his ability to produce. But by year 3, he started seeing some returns. Even this year, you can see some solid returns on him. Unfortunately, season-ending knee injury week 3 really kind of probably slowed that down. What do you think? Do the Lions need to address linebacker and move on from Derek Barnes, or should they look to resign him? That's going to be one of the tougher ones. Me, myself, and I, doesn't have to be your opinion. I'm moving on from him. It's just no disrespect. I think I can get equal or better value in the draft, maybe even via free agency without overspending on a veteran contract. So, but let me know your thoughts. DB, yes, or DB, no in the comment section. This will be another one that fans will probably be torn on. He is going to be 30 when the start of the next season hits, and that's John Kaminsky. Fan favorite. We all love his motor, his facial expressions, all that kind of stuff. I also think the fact that he missed all last year is not going to do him any favors when it comes to free agency. My opinion, you're probably moving on, but what say you? Kaminsky, yes or no? Next one, I do think there's a strong probability on the next 2 guys that they could be back. Alaquin Muhammad, I think he played pretty dang well. The longer he was here, and MCDC likes this guy. He talks about him pretty flowingly. We'll see what they do, but I do believe it'll probably be a team-friendly deal. He is 30 again, so I don't think he's going to be able to command the most dollars out there in free agency. But what do you guys say? Muhammad, yes. Muhammad, no. The next one, I think he's probably going to get a team-friendly deal. I just don't see there being a huge bidding war across the NFL for him, and that would be Pat O'Connor. Why do I say yes to him? In my opinion, the Lions want guys, we all get it, Swiss Army knives, inside, outside, etc., all over the place, and Pat O'Connor can do that. He can play inside the DTI. He can also play out wide at the big end, I should say, for them. So, in my opinion, probably a team-friendly contract. You're going to have to keep some people. We'll see what they do. But Patty O'Connor, that crazy Irishman, do you want him back or not? Marcus Davenport, I'm guessing with some of those other resignings with Muhammad and O'Connor might make him, if the Lions go that way, a little bit expendable. But, hey, we talk about Iffy never being available because of injuries. Davenport, when's the last season he played in the NFL where he did play all games? Somebody, man, that's probably a game show question that somebody could win some money on. Davenport, yay or nay? All right, let's speed through some of the other ones because, you know what, I don't want to make this a 2-hour episode of Lions Talk Live. Here's one that I think, man, I would like to see him back. The one thing going for the team is probably his age, and that is Levi Onwuzurike. We all know his story. It is something for like a Lifetime movie or something like that. The guy's back is basically destroyed. At 300 plus pounds, he has all the spinal fusions that should have ended his career. Instead, he fights back. He pulls the Rocky Balboa. He's not quitting, whatever you want to say. He's back there, and you know what? He has a pretty good season this year. My thing is he's 27. He's got nothing but good things said about him from the coaching staff. They clearly like him. The front office likes him, and we all know Ali McNeil is going to miss some time next year. Who are you going to have fill in that spot, or at least somewhat? Is it going to be a rookie? Is it going to be somebody else you sign in free agency? Or is it going to be Levi Onwuzurike? So, Levi, yay or nay? Next one, my strong anticipation is he will be back next year, but he is 31, and that is Dan Skipper. Dan Skipper is probably not going to get a lot of overtures for other teams, I would suspect. But his value since when he first came here to the team to what he's become now, I think is pretty strong. Obviously, they love using him as the 6th offensive lineman. He's now a tight end who catches touchdowns. And to be fair, when he had to fill in for Taylor Decker, I actually thought he did a pretty good job. He wasn't over the top great or anything like that, but he wasn't noticeably terrible or anything out there. So what do you say? Skipper in the offensive weapon, are you bringing him back next year or not? Let me know in the thoughts. And then the next one, I think most of us would agree we'd like to see him back, and that's Kevin Zeitler. We've talked about him a lot. It feels like in the last week since the season's ended. He's a little bit older. We all get it. He is going to be 35 when the season starts. He said the last season was going to be his final season. It's come out from multiple different reports that the Lions and he did have some conversations about a contract extension during the season. Apparently he said, or Zeitler said, he wanted to wait until after the season to have some time to talk about it with his family, etc. And that appears to be where we're at with things. In my opinion, if you can get him back for one more season, heck, maybe two more seasons, but probably a 1-year deal, him and Mahogany at those guard spots, the Lions would have the best offensive line in the league, and I don't think it would be close. I think it would be 1, and everybody else is number 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just between Ragnow, assuming he heals up, Mahogany, as good as he looks, Zeitler, as good as he played this year. Decker, I think, will look better with Mahogany next to him. I thought Decker had to chip out or help out way too much to help pick up things for Graham Glasgow. It's no disrespect for Graham Glasgow. He is a Lion through and through. He's bled and sweat, giving up his body for this team. But we all get it. At some point, the body's got nothing left to give, and that's where I think Glasgow is. And then Penei Sewell is generational. You're not getting better than him. Then two more here. Tim Patrick. I think most Lions fans would be okay with him being back. He is 31. He did have a pretty good year here, his best in years. Or do you think it's time to move on from him and just try to get younger, faster, whatever it may be there? Let me know in the comments section. Last but never least, there were a lot of talks ever since the playoff game about Teddy Bridgewater. That man, Hendon Hooker, must not have it if you're bringing in Teddy Bridgewater and making him the backup quarterback after, 3 weeks of being here, 2 weeks of being here, 15 minutes of being here. It is an interesting question. The fact that they weren't willing to put Hendon Hooker as the QB2, the backup quarterback, does it mean that he's just not that guy, or does it mean they just have more confidence in the veteran Teddy Bridgewater? I'm not sure what you do. I don't know if Teddy's going back to coach high school football or what. So that stuff I don't know. Some of you guys may know. Let me know your thoughts on all of these in the comments section. And with that being said, let's head on over to you guys, see what you got to say, and we'll go from there, my friends. All right, let me scroll to the top of the screen. This is me scrolling. Don't forget, by the way, while I'm scrolling, if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so, or also hitting that thumbs up or like button. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Rob, be groovy and smash that woo button for Coach Dan the Man. Thank you for that, my friend. As always, good to see you this morning. Moonscar, subscribe, share, then wave your hand in the air like you just don't care. Thank you for that, Moonscar. And yes, do all the above if you are able to. Stephanie, good morning, boys. After watching the Eagles yesterday, I feel more heartbroken than ever. Next season can't get here soon enough. You know what? Hey, every day that passes, we're one day closer to free agency, one day closer to the draft, and yes, one day closer to OTAs, start of the season, all that stuff. JDC, Stephanie, yep, I'll go with that, and exclamation point. Rob, I said it before, and I'll say it again. KC's D doesn't get enough credit. No, I thought they had some real good play calls. I think, the easy one's going to be that fourth down where they had the cornerback blitz and everything, and they sent both corners. I was like, man, that's showing some cojones there. But you could see Josh Allen, the Bills weren't prepared for it. And, hey, you want to talk about changing the game. There's no conspiracy there. You made a great call on a great situation and caught the other team off guard. You basically decided the game with that call. JDC, one more game, and everybody will be back at square one. You are right about that. Hey, Lions are now just like everybody other than two teams. And, yes, we wish they were part of the two teams. Rob, Rob Kendall, Stephanie agreed, but it wasn't a Lions year. Correct. They will be disrupt like KC's D, and the O's is much better. Yeah, I think there's some potential. Our D and O could be vastly better next year. We'll get into that in another episode. Trey, I think you're right, Rob. That DB blitz call on fourth down was great. Yeah, I agree. Again, showed some real gumption doing that, but hey, it worked out. Spags is he's a veteran coach. He knows how to roll them dice. I wanted both teams to lose, but I will give them credit for some of their play calls. Yeah, great game to watch. Steve, greetings and salutations, Coach Dan and the Mountain Dew crew. I would like to keep Levi unless something special happens in the draft. I don't think we can afford to lose him with McNeil out. I'm on the same boat with you, Steve. I really like what Levi did. The tough part is, obviously that back issue's the older he gets, the more, I hate saying it, the more that's going to become prevalent to him. Can he get maybe 2 more seasons out of him? Maybe 3 or 4? Somebody's going to pay him because he did play well down the stretch. I thought, especially in the playoff game. We'll see what shakes out. And again, in the Minnesota Vikings game at Ford Field, I thought both those games, last 2 games of the season, may have been his best games of the season. Mike the Marine Gunny, howdy, Dan and Duke Crew. Yes, the Lions have some tough decisions in how they fit into the budget. Keep it going. Woo! I'm down with that. Moonscar, I am over Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Go Eagles. Root for him, man. Root for him. Lions King Kong. So basically, you are taking the Detroit Free Press and ad and making it your topic today. Man, you crack me up sometimes. No worries, man. Yeah, there's sometimes, like all reporters, man, sometimes you do get stories from multiple different places. I want to say the story ran on like 3 different sites that I saw. So, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't get some inspiration from it. But that being said, I also know, I'm sure you're aware, King Kong, there are times I put out videos and other people copy that as well. So it's a full circle in reporting. If you're the first to the story, chances are somebody else is going to report it. All right, Jessica, something I've noticed, Coach, you seem to come up with original show ideas. Hate saying it, but I feel like everyone else just tells the same story on the channels over and over. It's the same show. Well, like I was just talking about, there's a lot of stuff that will be universal. So one thing I would say when I first started the channel, I think, it was Micro Mike. And you guys, if you've watched the show for any kind of length of time, I did a deep dive video, investigative piece on why the Lions traded TJ Hawkinson. I did a video, I think it was like a week before that, saying, hey, I've got people telling me the Lions are looking to trade TJ Hawkinson. There were a lot of people that threw, stones at my windshield saying I was full of BS and stuff like that. When it happened, those same people never responded. They just, went silent. But what I did in that investigative video is I pointed out why I thought he got traded, did a deep dive on his footwork, all sorts of different stuff, his blocking assignments. Also, when Goff would target him, how high the turnover ratio became because interceptions, I didn't want to say, don't hold me to all this, but Goff at that point in the season had thrown like 5 interceptions. 4 of them were TJ Hawkinson, and I kind of broke down why. And Micro Mike said, man, just as soon as you put that out, other people are going to run with it. And he was right. I think there was he pointed out like 5 or 8 different YouTubers that ran basically the same video, like within a few days of me putting that out. But that's part of journalism. Is that if you get a story out, if it's a good story, you will have people copy it. You can go on to, Fox News, CNBC, ABC, the Disney Channel. Somebody's going to replicate that. Let's see, Rob, Trey Tipson, and they didn't telegraph it. Yes, and they didn't. If you're talking about that, the Chiefs blitz, yeah, they did a good job of disguising it. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Tom Brady pointed out the injuries we had and the health the Eagles defense had. Yeah, and I think the Eagles defense is playing pretty dang well. Wasn't perfect. The one thing I would say is watching both games yesterday, I saw both teams struggle with mobile quarterbacks. And I know every Lions fan's like, hey, AG or Kelvin Shepard, they shouldn't be hired because, they can't stop mobile quarterbacks. I watched Patrick Mahomes run all over the place yesterday at times. I saw Josh Allen do it. And those are 2 of the better defenses they're going up against. It wasn't limiting them. What's his name? Jalen Hurts also ran all over the Bills, or excuse me, not the Bills, the Commanders D. So I think it's just a problem in the NFL right now. You only can stop so much on D. So many of the rules favor the offense. I think unless you just have vastly superior personnel, a mobile quarterback's going to do what a mobile quarterback does. Steve, the health of the Eagles and the deformation of our defense was a determining factor. That's a lot of D's there, Steve, and you're tongue-tied twisting me there. I would agree, though. JDC, Magic 8 Ball says defense wins. Quote, the big one. I concur. Rob, you can tell some other shows are AI. It's easy to tell by the voice and grammar. Yeah. There's a lot of people using that more and more. I see that, I show houses. Most of you guys know I go out and do real estate. So I'll listen to different topics. I like a lot of history stuff. So sometimes you can see, at least I've noticed in the last 2 years or so, a lot of the history programs I watch are AI driven. Doesn't mean the information is wrong, but you can see that they're using that more and more to try to produce shows. Darcy, you haven't seen it, so don't spoil it, please. Okay, I'll try to do that. Robert, greetings, back at you. Jason, you determine your core by keeping or cutting. Always keep in mind the wizardry of Brad Holmes in the draft. Yeah, I agree with that. Brad Holmes does a great job with stuff. I think they're going to face, like you would every time with free agency. You drafted these guys. You have a belief in these guys. It's tough to say goodbye to people, but the Lions, we also have to be realistic. They're not going to keep everybody. It's just an impossibility. Lions King Brad Holmes has to stop bringing guys already on IR. I'll go with that, King Kong. Everybody's going to point out Davenport Mosley walked in the building hurt. Yes, they did. And so did rookie Rakestraw. Yeah, they were probably aware of that for sure. It's just, Rakestraw hopefully heals up and it's not a problem going forward. But he came into the injury. They knew when they drafted him, he had just had, I want to say, hernia surgery. Don't hold me to that, but that sounds right. So they understood what they're investing in. Darcy, it's right on the internet, man. Laughing out loud at your fingertips. Yes, most things are available to you on the fingertips of the internet. Steve, Lions Talk Live is a show for me. Exclamation point. Keep up the good work, Dan. Hey, thanks for that, Steve. I do what I can. Doesn't mean, hey, I'm going to make everybody happy all the time, but I try to do what I can, and I work hard, so you don't have to. That's a slogan of mine in real estate, by the way. Bam Bear. Good morning, Dan Saurus Rex. Exclamation point. And Scooby-Doo crew. Y'all have a fantastic day. Same to you, my friend. Hopefully this is a phenomenal day for you. Jess, greetings, salutations, Darcy. I haven't either. Next thing you know, someone points out mock draft video, and someone will complain about that because someone else made a mock draft video. It is what it is, man. Hey, we all have fun online, right? Trim Reaper, what up, Coach and Duke crew? Woo! Back at you, my friend. Hopefully having a good day, Trim. Let's see. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Exclamation point. What a team. What a podcast. Thank you for that. What a time to be a Lions fan. Go Lions. Woo! 100%. And I think, man, me, myself, and I personally think this is going to be a stellar offseason for us. I think we're going to nail the draft. I do. I think we're going to have a great return on investment in the draft. I think we're going to have a phenomenal job in free agency. Now, I don't know anything about, hey, we're going to sign this person, that person. I don't know any of that stuff. It's just my personal belief. I don't think this team has a lot of holes. Assuming everybody comes back from injuries and is, good to go at some point during the season, I think you fill in a couple of good free agents and a lot of great draft picks, plus what you got last year out of the draft that, is kind of developing and maturing. I think we're going to have a real good season. Rob, shout out to the Red Wings for a tough defensive win against Tampa Bay on Saturday. Thanks for that, Rob, keeping us informed on the Red Wings. Big Eddie, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew gang. I hope we keep Levi. In my opinion, he's going to be important. Yes, I agree with you. I would not be sad if we keep him. If we don't, I'm thinking that means we're either going after somebody else or maybe, I know nobody wants to hear this, but Broderick Martin might be the guy. JDC, Puff, woo, Coffee, and Lions Talk Live, back at you. Good to see you. Phil, good morning. Back at the shoe, Phil. Nice guitar in the picture. Looks, if I'm not mistaken, black, but maybe I'm wrong. It's hard to always tell in the thumbnails. All right, Eddie Kim Gong. So, all right, yep, we're not going to move on for that. Southwest, good morning, all. Okay, I admit it. I was happy to see the Eagles beat the bejesus out of the Commanders yesterday. I'm guessing a lot of Lions fans were 100%. Let's see, France, you're not alone. Southwest, let's see, only 2 teams left now. Wish we were still playing, but I'll take the season we got. Yeah, overall, everybody's going to look at it differently. Me, myself. Hey, man, we got, 18 weeks of the NFL. I was only disappointed on 3 weeks during that time. I'm going to live with that. Let's see, Southwest Dan, what are your thoughts on John Morton, the Lions supposedly interviewing this week for OC? Question mark. He worked with Jared Goff for 1 year. I'm wondering if that's the best option. And I'll give the politically correct answer here. If that's who MCDC hires, you know what? Hey, that's the guy for me then. The only thing I would say is I suspect, and I know we've talked about it, but I suspect you're going to have the same situation as we did with Kelvin Shepard. I think it's going to be Tanner Ekstrand. I know I murdered his name, so apologies. Just because the familiarity he has with Goff, the offense they have been running, I don't think there's going to be much of a learning curve there. And I think a lot of this comes down to 2 factors with MCDC. One, is there a lack of a learning curve? So week 1, 2, and 3, we're much farther along than if we hire in somebody new. Where you guys remember the New England Patriots during their heyday, or I guess you could even say the Chiefs to a certain extent. The New England Patriots, it seemed like every year they would get gutted from offensive coordinator, defense coordinator, going to get head coaching jobs in college or the pros, and that would slow them down. The first month of the season, September, it was almost throwaway for the for the Patriots just because everybody would have to learn the new stuff and it slowed down their maturity. Now, they were so talented as a coaching staff, as a player front, that they would overcome that. I think the Lions are trying to avoid that scenario. The other part, and I know we've talked about before, is you look at how they try to maintain their own draft picks instead of going outside. I think that shows now with their coaching staff. They're trying to keep guys in-house, show loyalty versus going outside. All right, Marcus, good morning. Dan and Duke Crew, exclamation point. Great games yesterday. They were. The KC refs looked sharp. The Lions can learn a lot from the Eagles and how to reload and bounce back. Remember that 32-9 beating they got from Tampa Bay in the 23 playoffs? They did, man. They were so emotionally checked out by the end of the season. But to your point, they did bounce back very, very well. Kudos to them. I think they draft well. They develop well. They bring in new coaches. They get a lot of things right. And yes, for Lions fans, that's probably where we need to look and say, hey, we can do this. Trey Murray got my test back, and it's positive. J-Mo got me pregnant last week. Sorry to hear about that, man. But yes, J-Mo had to pay a little fine for that, too. Marks, is that former Lions receiver Johnny Morton? It is not. But that's so many people, Marcus, were sending me that yesterday, saying, is Johnny Morton going to be our offensive coordinator? I had to look into it. My brother Tim sent me the article, I think, first. And I was like, yeah, that's not the Johnny Morton. Troy D, after watching both games yesterday, it's very clear Brad better get some real dogs on the D-line and athletic linebackers. I agree with you. It's not that I don't like what we have, but we've got to get a lot more athletic there, especially on the outside. So like you're saying, the linebackers are the edge opposite Hutch. You got to get pressure on quarterbacks. We all were talking about mobile quarterbacks. I didn't see any of the quarterbacks really getting limited from the defenses they were seeing. If there was a lane there, they could take off and take it. So we're not the only ones, just because we play man-to-man so much, that get burnt by running quarterbacks. At least me trying to be as neutral as I can be, that's what I saw. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. All right, Coach makes a daily show. How about we just show things? Yeah, I'm not going to go into this a ton, but I'll just say you're going to put out a bunch of videos every week. I hate to say it, you're gonna bump into content other people have made. I do the best I can, guys. Try to come up with different takes on things instead of trying to run the same story over and over. But at some point, it's unavoidable. You're going to have a topic that is similar to somebody else's. So sorry, guys. I do what I can. Southwest, the lesson from Washington gets its butt kicked by Philadelphia. Keep your mouth shut until you've won the Super Bowl. Commanders were talking a lot of smack after beating Detroit. They were. And then they talked less yesterday. Troy D, passing coordinator from Denver. Yes, could be. Five Fingers. Thanks, Coach. I look forward to the show. I look forward to doing it. Hopefully you enjoy it. Rob Kendall, the Trim Reaper. Mosley, yeah. Okay. Lions King. Okay, thanks, Coach. Jeez. Hey, no worries, man. I do what I can for you. Hopefully you enjoy it. Marcus, congrats, Tim Reaper and J-Mo, the love Dr. Williams. There you go. Yeah, congrats indeed. All right, we're going to move on from that. Southwest. Buffalo got hosed on the fourth down call at the Chiefs 40 in the fourth quarter with Buffalo up 22-21. Allen had the first down. I would agree. And, hey, not that officials can't get stuff wrong. It's just my opinion. You can have your own opinion. It just seems like Kansas City, anytime there is an opportunity for the NFL to step in and give them a beneficiary call, they do it. And I do think a lot of that is for a financial reason. They're going to make way more money off the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl than they are the Buffalo Bills, unfortunately. All right, Voltron, I think we were signed Levi and CD3, maybe KZ. Oh, Kevin Zeitler. Yeah, 100% there. Laughing out loud says Trim Reaper, Lions King Kong. Okay. Marcus, boy or girl, we'll find out. JDC, Motor City Dooku. I love it indeed. Sosimo. Yes, they did. Exclamation point. NFL wants Taylor Swift and her fans all over another Super Bowl. I would agree. Yes, just from the optics, you're going to have probably, commercials are going to cost more because of that factor. So for the NFL, 100%, it's a business decision. Southwest Lion, I think Tanner Ekstrand, Hank Fraley, and Scotty Montgomery are all better options than John Morton for OC. We'll see. And my guess is we'll probably know pretty quick here. JDC, Dre Forge will rock, and he will roll all over the field. Southwest NFL is starting to look like WWE. There is a Chiefs-Taylor Swift bias the way these games are officiated. You get no complaints out of me. Now, with that being said, the Bills still have their opportunities. If they would have clearly got across that line, nobody could question it then. They didn't. the one drop pass, even though I love the blitz by the Chiefs, you left a couple guys open. You rolled the dice. If and I don't know the Bills player, but it went through his hands. He could have caught it. They would have won the game, I think, but it happens. Lions King Kong can't even have an opinion without feeling attacked. No, you can have an opinion all the time, man. All the time. Share your opinion anytime, man. Let's see, Dave Bing, I think we'll know about Tanner today or tomorrow. Yeah, probably in the next 48 hours, man. Marcus, re-signed CD, Levi, Patrick, Iggy, and Zeitler. Yeah, agreed with that. Yeah, I think all of them are in play. No doubt about it. JK, NFL is so rigged. Washington lost, ? So choosy. Week-to-week basis. Dave Bing, yeah, okay, let's move on from this one. All right, Southwest, whatever any of us think about Ben Johnson, what he did comes nowhere near what Liam Cohen did to the Buccaneers. Yeah, I did see that, but it's tough for me because here's what I'll say. I try to not just look at it as a fan. I try to also look at it as a coach or a reporter. And I get as a coach, you want to elevate your career. You want to keep things going forward. I mean, it's a career opportunity for most of these people. That being said, we all learn from our mistakes. I'd like to say that hopefully nothing was done intentionally, but then again, that one is not a great situation. JK, the boring Chiefs, again, nope. Yeah, it is what it is. Third year in a row. Marks, I think we've signed another linebacker or defensive end. I wouldn't mind bringing Barnes back too. Okay, I will go with that. JDC, I ain't scared. Go Lions. Good to know. Southwest, I think that most NFL fans will be rooting for the Eagles for sure. Probably, yeah, just same thing we would see with the Patriots. I mean, they won so much during such a window of time. There were a lot of people that started rooting against them just because they want to see something different. I think the only time I really remember, people going, switching mid-game was when the New England Patriots did the whatever it was 28-point comeback against the Atlanta Falcons. I remember being out with where I'm at a restaurant watching it. Everybody was cheering on like the first half, the Atlanta Falcons, just because so many people were saying, I'm so tired of seeing Tom Brady win. But in that second half, in that late third quarter, when they started to rally, those same people were now cheering them on because it was incredible watching such a comeback. Marcus, JK, you mean KC refs? Yes. Michigan Panther Pride. Good morning, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Episode 9 will be up tonight. We'll check it out. Don Berg, Lion King Kong, I don't think no one is attacking you. I think the community is saying Dan puts in his time and efforts to this, and we appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I can't make everybody happy, man. King Kong, I don't think anybody's attacking you. It's just, you're saying you're expressing your opinion. They're expressing their opinion. Quentin, greetings, salutations, y'all. Back at you. JK, Marcus, them too. I concur. Marcus, laughing. Detroit D, greetings, salutations, everyone. Back at you, my friend. Good to see you as always this morning. JDC, Lions, let's see, Southwest Lion, go Eagles. There'll probably be a lot of us rooting for them. JK, Taylor Swift, and Budvaruski Fakers. There we go. Coach Rock, good morning, all. No snow this morning. Good day to make some football decisions. Hey, go enjoy it, my friend, and make those decisions. Stephanie, I think we are just a few players away from winning it all. Detroit D, good morning. I would agree. I mean, I get, every season's unique upon itself. Nothing that happened in the past, comes into the future. Then again, I look over the Lions, and I think there's just a lot of good parts there. We'll see what shakes out. I know some people really think that it's doom and gloom with our schedule. I don't. I think our schedule next year, it doesn't mean we're going to win 15 games here. I think we can win 12, 11, 13 games, somewhere in that neighborhood. Southwest, just because somebody works with Sean Payton for 2 years doesn't automatically make him the best person for the job. I don't get why they were even talking to John Morton. I'm guessing just because Dan Campbell knows him, kind of kicking the tires on it. We'll see who they ultimately go with, but I think it's going to be an in-house candidate. Rob, Coach Dan puts in a lot of time into this and maintains a high quality that few can. Hey, I do what I can. And again, I know some people like it, some people won't. That's life though, right? Not everybody likes my spiky hair. Jody, good morning, everyone. Back at you. Hopefully it's a phenomenal start to your day. David, good morning. Dan and Duke Group. Brad, we need pass rushers, please. I would say that's probably most of our thinking is priority number one. Now, I don't think we'll miss Ben as much as we think. Yeah, I'll agree with that. We saw fundamental football win yesterday with not a bunch of darn trick plays. I think you're probably spot on with that. I think whoever gets it doesn't mean they won't add in some trick plays. Nothing wrong with that. But I think my opinion as a coach, if you got talent to work with, that can make a lot of coaching look great. I think there's a lot of talent here, and I think if Zeitler comes back, that offensive line is going to be dang tough for anybody in the NFL to deal with. I think the offense is going to be just fine. JDC, make spelling great again? Probably not if I'm spelling. I didn't win worst speller in print media in journalism 3 years in a row for nothing. I murder the English language better than anybody alive. Big D, Super Bowl, I'll go with that. Marcus, hit that like and subscribe button. Hats off to Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. 100%. Best YouTube channel for fans in the world. Hey, I don't know about all that. There's a lot of great people out there on YouTube who do good work. I do what I can to hopefully provide some information and maybe a little bit of entertainment. Big D, JDC, Mr. Burr, how are you guys? We'll find out. Detroit D, Don Burr, yes, you see those D lines yesterday? Yeah, they can get after people. And Jalen Carter, man, I really like that kid. I was disappointed when we didn't take him. But then again, we got Laporte and Gibbs, so which would you rather have? That's a tough one. Let's see, Southwest Line. Don Burr, I think Jared Goff is getting tired of all the talk about how if it weren't for Sean McVay and Ben Johnson, he wouldn't be any good. Well, there's that to look at, but I'd also say in Jared Goff's respect, would both of those guys have looked as good with somebody else? And with McVay, you could say he's got Stafford, so that has helped. But if he had just a normal quarterback, because remember, there were games that Goff missed where they had, and I don't remember the backup quarterbacks' names. There was even one guy they started over Goff for game, and then McVay had to say, hey, I need to go back to Goff here pretty quick. So Goff is the focal point of both gentlemen. So maybe he makes them look good. Maybe they look good. We'll find out if Stafford really does retire or move on from the Rams, how good McVay looks next year with somebody else, and what will Ben Johnson look like with Caleb Williams. Rob, JDC, I can spell it, Finn. All right. Jason, how do you think would have done against the Eagles? How do I think? I think we would have scored more points. I think we would have been more consistent. I think the way the Eagles played defense also kind of helps the Lions because the Lions really do want to, I don't want to say dink and dunk their way down the field, but that did fit in with what Ben Johnson typically likes to do. It's also what the Eagles likes to give up. I still think at the end of the day, the amount of injuries we have on defense really limited us. I hate saying it. I don't want to ever pick against Lions, but I would have probably picked the Eagles 48-42, something like that. Miles Margaret, green salutations, my friends. Let's have fun. Grit, 100% there. JDC, Big D doing okay. Come on, sunshine. We're coming. It's coming on back. Big D, yeah, buddy, I agree. Southwest, Washington Pretenders, what a joke. I'm so mad. Those bums was not close to us if we had half our defense. I'm looking at teams with no injuries with all dogs in the fight. Yeah, if we don't have those injuries, I agree. I think we probably are in the Super Bowl and we win it. David, is it me or does it hurt more watching the playoffs since we have improved as a team and organization? It does hurt more because, we now belong there. At least that's my take on it. 313, good to see you, my friend. It has been a minute. Lions City sign Chase Young. Maybe they do. Rob, 13 is the number of godness. I'll go with that. Don Bird, Detroit D. It was beautiful to see the D-line and offensive lines work fundamental football, not seeing Jameson Williams throwing passes. Yeah, we're all probably not happy about the Williams pass there. Big D, Chase Young is washed up. Could be. Southwest, none of these teams are better than us, healthy, and makes me sick to my stomach. I get it, man. Totally. But that also means we as fans recognize how far this organization has come. Marcus, the Leo, Don Burr, Sellers, I agree. I'm tired of it. JK, National, I'll go with that league. David, I think we should pick up Landon Johnson in the draft. He's a big high motor edge. Yes, he is, by the way. He is projected for the top of the second round. Nick Scorton, could be. There's a couple people that I think we'll be after for sure. Southwest, Jason Berry, Lions would have lost to the Eagles. The Eagles are better in the trenches, and their D is legit. Yeah, right now, especially with all the injuries, I think we'd get it. I think we'd be within a touchdown. I think the hard part is just stopping enough times the Eagles' offense. I could be wrong. I mean, any given Sunday can win, right? It's just that would have been my prediction if you were to ask me right now. Marcus, typo. Hey, I got them all the time, my friend. JDC, David, I've seen enough Lions losses. It hurts to a point. I'll go with that. Coach Rock, one decision will be we'll watch the Puppy Bowl instead of the same old Super Bowl. There you go. Sellers line, looks like a Hallelujah Blue flu lives on. Washington experienced it yesterday. That's a great point there. And I bet you most people won't talk about it. Keith, good morning and greetings, salutations, Dan, everyone. Back at you, Phil. Other than a game or two, the playoffs games have been poor. Okay, I'll go with that. 100% Phil. JK, tired of the lies from NFL. They're going to be here for a long time. Don, what did I notice yesterday was every quarterback left yesterday had some sort of a mobility. Yes, correct. They did. And I thought, at least for my eyes, everybody struggled to contain it without obviously giving up something over the top. Rob Mahomes gets calls only Michael Jordan got. It's probably a lot of truth to that. Southwest, that fourth down call against the Bills was absolute BS. Replay showed Allen had it. Yeah, that's the problem I have with it, Southwest. I get you're almost never going to get them to change the spot on the field. My problem is the call on the field usually stands. You have one official who clearly comes down the line, and he's past the line. The other one comes in and says, nah, I'm here. So now he moves over. And the replay, the fact that the commentators talked about and said, that looks like a first down for the Bills. And yet somehow all the powers that be said, nah, not so much. But again, if you can remove that. I don't think the NFL overtly goes over the top with it. But if you give them a gray area to favor one team or the other, yes, they take advantage of it. So, I mean, put it this way. Josh Allen clearly gets that first down. Then the Bills would have got it. Let's see, J-Mo, Lion King, Southwest agree, but I would like to have seen our teams battle at full strength. Yeah, me too, man. I think it would have been fun. Southwest, J-Mo, Lion King, Green, Eagles are healthier, but much so. Rob, the Bills didn't do themselves any favors with their play calling. At times, yes, they could have done some better stuff. Phil, sure, Ben Johnson sue Ben Johnson for calling a poor game. The economic hit is terrible. It was, man, but, I think we all get it, man. You're not getting any blood out of that stone or whatever I want to say there. Don, fundamental football and defense wins games. I'm not bitter. I just think Ben Johnson gimmicks play calling was getting stale. This could be great for us. It could be, yeah. Bringing some change, bringing some new innovation, some new blood to it, 100%. Michael, bring back the sticks and chains and dictating first downs and get rid of the can't move on a kickoff stuff. I know there's some people are not fans of the kickoff rule. I totally get it. I'm not a fan either. I just don't see the NFL going away from it. Maybe they make some adjustments to it, though. Only thing I'm happy about is the Super Bowl matchup is I'm winning $200 no matter who wins from bets made before the season start with free bonus bets. Hey, congrats to you, my friend. I look forward to you donating a delicious Mountain Dew. Just kidding. Let's see, Phil. Rob, Phil, call 1-800-CALL-SAM. There you are. All right. JK, Tony Wynn Johnson should be in prison for being a Bear in final game of the season. Yeah, the more information that came out the week after the playoff loss and his hire, it's no disrespect to the guy. Having been a coach who's coached for a while, the only thing I can say is he already had so many interviews done with people to be a part of his staff. I really don't think he was spending the right time on the Detroit Lions and being ready for the Eagles. I have no idea on Aaron Glenn. Maybe that's true with him too. But it does at least appear that Ben Johnson was emotionally checked out days before the Lions even played a playoff game. And it probably showed in the product on the field. So we can blame Goff. We can blame the offensive line. But if you don't prepare those guys, you probably get bad results, right? Let's see, Martin, what do you got? Go Eagles, go. Well, probably a lot of us are going to be cheering them on. So go have a good time out there in the Super Bowl. JDC, new drink for the bar. Lions Talk Live mock draft beer coming out this week, my friend. Phil, if you do twin, you don't pay. Okay. Ken Sawyer, no thank you. All right, fair enough. Keith, D-line will be our priority. I agree with that. Last year was cornerback, DB. Zadarius Smith is staying. We will draft Green out of Marshall and trade for Max or someone like him in free agency. Brad is making his moves. Not to spoil my first draft, I like Green. I'm just not sure he's a defensive end for Lions. Now, if you move him to linebacker, though, who plays situational pass rush for Lions, that's where I like him a lot more. Derek, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Pass rush was effective against Washington and Buffalo, something we couldn't do. Yes, it was. I agree with you on that. Southwest, whoever the Lions select as OC, I think Jared Goff needs to have maximum input on it. Yeah, I'm guessing they will have him be a part of it for sure. All right, guys, I'm way behind in the comment section. I got about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to power through and get people who haven't been on as much. We saw one gimmick play yesterday, Washington fake punt, and them going for it on fourth down a bunch because the defense isn't good. Correct. J-Mo, good morning, Duke Crew, and what up, Doe Coach? Woo, back at you. All right, Don Kong, F, no. I'll go with that. Tug Speedman, that game yesterday proved we should have kept running the ball down Washington's throat. I agree 1,000%. Kim, N-E-M, E-M-N. All right, J.K., just remember, Hutch is all ours. Yes, indeed. Just E-M, heck no. Southwest, E-M, heck no. I'm sick of this guy. All right, we'll get him out of here. I think so. Don Kong, Skip, no. We'll go with that. Y, iffy. Iffy, no. Psycho Billy, EM, no. I'll go with that. And thank you, Jess, by that. I don't think you said your name. Sorry about that. Psycho Billy, EM, no. Kim, Y, iffy. Ken, Morton doesn't move the needle for me personally. Yeah, I think that's probably true with a lot of people. Rocky, if he can come back on a team-friendly contract, yeah, something like that. Let's see, Henry Moore, what do you got? Y on iffy. Jessica Davenport, Y. Psycho Billy, iffy, Y. If the price is good, extend JMO. You're correct with that. Iffy fingers hurt us, I'll probably concur with that. Moonscar, we definitely need to build up the defense, draft edges and linebackers, interior help also. Chronicle injuries players, no problem. Chronically injured players, excuse me. Tears, no fears. Good morning, Duke Crew family. Exclamation. How about Dale at edge? Resign Patrick, Levi Davis, Lightning, and Thundercats. Ho! I'll go with all that, my friend. All right, looking for people. I'm Benani, Marcus N for Vildor, Ezra Gray. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Back at you, my friend. Detroit D. Carter is a beast, and Brad messed up. I really like the kid. I liked him. Now, if you guys watched that draft live, I was sad that we didn't go for him. The hard part is you would not have had Gibbs probably and Laporta. All right, facts on Vildor, no. Hex, no. All right, we'll go with that. More, no on Vildor. Rakestraw, yes. All right, Rocky Vilder replaced by a healthy Rakestraw. I'll go with that. Ezra, yes on iffy. Dorsey, bye. Okay, we'll go with that. Just no for Dorsey, says Marcus. Let's see, moving on for people. If when our defense is healthy, we are headed for a top 5 defense and Hutch Player of the Year. Get it done, Brad and MCDC 13-4 and Super Bowl bound. Lions pride, go Lions. Woo! I'll go with all that. CD, yes. YCD, bye, Vildor. Psycho Billy, Hex, yes. Carlton Davis, okay. All hurt garbage, all right, bye. Marcus, yes on CD. Coach Rock Davis, 3, yes. No on Vildor, says Donkey Kong. Facts in 60 seconds. Carlton Davis, yes. Iffy, yes. Y on CD, thank you, Henry. Vildor already left already. Okay. CD3, yes. He's gone. Y DB. Jessica. Jess, what do you got? Vildor is looking for his helmet. Probably true. DBY. Barnes, no. All right. DBY. Yes on Barnes. Big no for Vildor. Okay. As we're getting Barnes, depends on asking price. I would say that's probably fair enough. Sellers line, Dan, do you think we will see any new wrinkles with the defense with Kelvin Shepard? Probably. Every coach has their own stuff, right, to a certain degree. Doesn't mean there won't be a lot of similarity, but he's his own person. He'll come up with his own stuff. Ken, CD, yes. Extend Tim Patty. We'll go with that, JK. No on JC. Okay, no on JC. Let's see. Kamisk, no. Tears for Fear, hit that thumbs up button for Coach Dan. Thanks for that. Tears, no fear, Lionel. Kim, YAM. Southwest, yes on Tim Patrick. Muhammad, yes. Yes, Muhammad. Lions King. Yes on Barnes, especially with Kelvin being the DC. Okay, good call on that. Ezra, yes, Muhammad for depth. No on Kamish. Yes on Muhammad. Y on PO. Patio, yes. Thank you for that. John Kaminsky, not Kaminsky. Patrick O'Connor. Man, I can't talk right now. Yes. Kim, want more depth on the offensive line draft. A good time to find Rags, backup, future replacement. Yeah, that's not a bad idea there, Ken. Facts, 60 seconds. Tim Patrick, no. Draft new. Ezra Gray, yes to Pat. Good motor. Okay. Y, Patty. Okay. Davenport, Y on the cheap. Have to be cheap. I agree there. No on Davenport. No, Patrick. It is then. All right. The Central Scrutinizer. Good morning, Coach Dana Dooku. One pride. Back at you. Let's see. Davenport, bye. Yes, Patrick. Southwest. Missing the boat on Patrick. Absolutely bring him back. He was great. I like the guy. Kim, Y on Levi. Yes, Levi. Ali McJawbreak. Okay. Let's see. Coach Rock, leave some room in the players' room because Dollar General Brad turns into Tiffany's Brad. Brad Holmes will get the diamonds this offseason. Woo! Bring back Levi. I'm down with that, my friend. All right, keep Skipper. Yes, Skipper too. All right, Skipper, the offensive weapon. Yes. JK Skipper, yes. All right. CD, yes. Barnes, no. Kaminsky, no. Go younger defense line of the draft. Yeah, I see that. Muhammad, yes. Levi, no. Brad makes your magic work. Super Bowl bound. Go Lions. Woo! Back at you. Patrick, Patty, oh, yes. Absolutely. Obviously, there you go. Rob Skipper had a great declaring eligibility against Dallas. He did. He had a fun time with that one, I'm sure. Ken, no, a lot of openings on this team, mainly looking for those next man up dudes. Okay. Zettler, yes. Hex, yes. Zettler, yes. Yes on Zettler. No, on a 1 year deal. I think that's probably where they would go with it. Boss up, what up, Duke Crew? What up, Man of Steel? How you doing, my friend? Good morning, Duke Crew. I'm back at you. Zeller is still good, maybe 1 more year. Yeah, I don't know if you'll get him more than 1 year, but probably 1 year if they can talk him into it. What up, Dome Man of Steel? Re-sign JMO's dance coach. You might need to do that. Pat, Skip, yes. Patrick, Tim Patrick, yes. Let's see, Central School Eagles will do KC what they did to Washington. No three-peat. We'll know in 2 weeks. Patrick, Teddy Bridgewater, yes. We got Patrick Y with more than okay with him, better than Donovan Peoples-Jones. Okay, yeah, I think you're right there. Seldo's trade Hooker. I'm sick of it. Fair enough. Trade Hooker. Patty stays. Yay. Let's see. Graham has had father time catch up to him, but if you're coaching, it is mine. The Lions could use him. Yeah, maybe use him as a coach. Oh, there you go. Just Bridgewater, yes, on the cheap. Probably would get him on the cheap. So I agree with you there. All right, looking for guys that haven't been on here as much. Frank, the writing, Skipper and Zeitler are no-brainers. Donkey Kong, let's talk about OC and DC. We got the DC. Now, can we get the OC? Hey, who do you got there? Donkey Kong, who do you want in there? Ken Glasgow would be good backup, can play all 3 interior positions. Yeah, maybe as a backup you could use him. That's not a bad thought there, Ken. Just worst Super Bowl ever. Yawn. Not rooting for Casey, but not rooting for the Eagles either. Hey, maybe we'll end in a tie. Let's see, JK. I'm rooting for Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Let's see, more people haven't been on here. Gloria, I'm ready to move on from the chronically injured players. Yeah, I am too. I think most of us are, no matter who they are. I like the way you're thinking there. Brian, anyone that thinks the Bills game wasn't rigged in the second half must have been eating dinner because the rest were absolutely yeah, they weren't strong at all. I thought there was some things to note there. Thomas, hey, where are you, the Goff haters, ragging on Allen, the only QB in the playoffs who has not lost to Mahomes? Goff. That is also true. Goff has never lost to Patty Mahomes. Maybe that's why the NFL didn't want him around. Lions need to do a deep dive off season on what, if anything, that can be done to reduce the injuries. I agree with that 100%. All right, guys, we're into overtime here, so I really got to power through here. Mike K, sorry about the window, coach. It happens, man. What happened with next man up, Cowboy way? No worries, man. Let's see. Henry Moore, what do you got? Coach and Duke Crew, have a glorious day. Hitting down the road to BC. Go have a good time, my friend, on the road to Battle Creek. Stay safe, everyone. Back at you. All right, T-Bones, yes to Denver because he didn't have a re-injury and was just due to dirty tactics. You know, there could be a lot of truth to that. Sarge, good morning. All looking forward to next season, but us old guys don't buy any green bananas. Okay, don't buy those bananas. Just, yes, Davenport and Barnes were victims of cheap hits. I would agree with that. Thomas, guys, the Bills got ripped off on that 4th and 1 late. Proof the NFL wants KC in the Super Bowl. They'll be talking about that all week long in national media, I'm sure. Southwest, let's see, McDermott. Well, I think it should be whoever Jared Goff is most comfortable with. Yeah, probably have him a lot to say. You're going to be tied to Goff for a while, so probably want his insights. So whoever Mahomes type already, Southwest Lion, Boss Up Ball podcast. There you go, Kurt Steele. Patrick, we work hard so you don't have to. Always an old scrubbing bubbles commercial. Outstanding. Love it. Yes. Yeah, it could be where I got it. That I don't know. But good call on that, Patrick. Steve, I don't care what anybody says. Josh Allen had that 2nd, 4th down. It didn't do them dirty, just like the refs that got fired for calling the bad Lions game. Yeah, could be some correlations there. All right, let's see. Aaron, more moves in the trenches. Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably where they're going to target things this offseason. Fact in 60 seconds. Always enjoy listening to our show. Coach Duke Crew, morning all. Back at you, Steve. It looked into it because the blatancy obvious to everyone that the refs were calling calls for the Chiefs. I agree. And you probably had a lot of that this offseason or postseason, I should say. Thomas, smash the like, y'all. Yes, thank you for that. JK, run. We should have run more. Thomas, after seeing quarterback play yesterday, I have very little faith in Goff getting us to the Super Bowl. Everything has to be perfect for Goff or his statue in the pocket. Okay. Buffalo lost in the end of story. This is true. Trim Reaper, the NFL is WWE, magnetic balls, gloves, and uprights. Might be true. Silent service, the conspiracy theories are known factors, either win or lose. It's that simple. Correct. Let's see, Benjamin. The entire league has been on the take for as long as I can remember. I'm guessing the Kelsey Swift conspiracy works. It might be true. Jim, Bridgewater as QB coordinator. Ooh, that might be something there. Good call on that, Jim. Silent service, I dislike Philly, so I guess I'm forced to root for the KC. Okay. Brian, Dan, what do you think about it's time for a new NFL commissioner? Good luck with that one. I don't see him giving up that job anytime soon. Rob, changing mid match like Rodney Piper, impromptu face turn against Mr. D could be very similar to that. Pat, Raiders are looking for a quarterback, giving them Hooker and a pick and bringing Crosby home. Maybe they'll look into that. Derek, goodbye to Levi, Iffy, Barnes, Kaminsky, Skipper, Vildor, Dorsey, and Deborah. They could be gone. They're all free agents. Sign service, I think we keep Barnes. Derek, thanks, Thomas. I've never been accused of being smart. That happens, man. It happens. I like crunch time as well. Yeah, they seem to do a good job. Jerry, if he should get a vet minimum contract, I wonder if he'll go for that. That would be nice, though. Dan, I think I'm going to start drinking Mountain Dew. Your energy is off the charts. Keep it up. Good work. Thanks for that, man. I got to go have my first, well, I only have one Mountain Dew today, but I'll go to the gym after the show, then go get it, and then get ready for work. Thomas, on being hired, Dennis Allen was smart yesterday. Think we needed a veteran DC, and this point, I promoted the promotion of Shepard will be similar to the Eagles before they hired Fangio. That might be. Phil, how many turnovers did Washington have last night? I want to say 3 or 4, but don't hold me to that. 313, I love Dan Orlowski as offense coordinator. We'll see if we can get him. Thomas, Derek Lewis. Let's see. Jerry, the Bears will have a much better D than us next year. Could be. We'll see. Thomas, Jerry, agree. Phil, bring Stafford back for 1 year to end his career in Detroit. Goff can back him up for 1 year. Well, I wonder if that would be possible. Thomas, that's the problem with Detroit Lions fans. You guys do not respect your opponent. You cannot watch a game and just expect us to win. This is real life and not fantasy land. Go Lions. Woo! And back at you. It's the Sawyer kid from Ohio State would be nice. I think there are some fans that like him 100% there. Main thing, believe in your team, Detroit Lions. I do believe in them 100% there. Derek, I'm going to invite 6 Lions players to be the pallbearers at my funeral so they can let me down one last time. Hey, I see what you did there. Verbal Kent, the refs didn't let the Commanders get away with the same mess that they got away with against us. They had no business being in the conference championship. There would be a whole video on that probably, and I'm guessing somebody will do a video on it. JDC Dre Forge will rock, and he will roll. Thomas, they did interview Larry Foote. They did. Tuna the fish. We need a bigger receiver as well, someone who can compete with taller guys. I'll go with that. Central Scrutinizer in Brad, Dan, and Chris, we trust. Let's go, Lions. I'm down with that. Pat, I'm sure we'll see another KC Super Bowl win if the NFL has anything to say about it. NFL is so corrupt these days. Laughing out loud, the Lions versus Commanders game and the frigging after the game. I will go with that. Yes, the fitting after the game. Did Tampa Bay worse than Ben Johnson did Lions? There's probably a lot of truth to that. Jerome, our schedule will make us stronger and have our playoffs by would keep us focused. Yeah, I think so. I'm liking the schedule next year. Philippines, I don't want Morton as OC. Convince me I'm wrong. I think we're staying in-house. We'll find out very shortly here. All right, just a couple more here, and then I got to get out of here. I've already done a little bit of overtime. Silent Service Southwest Line, you're probably right. Derek, you're spot on about Davenport Thomas. Central Scrutinizer, Ben Johnson, I'm talking loud. Can he walk the talk? Trying to act like MCDC, he falls short from my perspective. Could be. Damian, Detroit healthy is a beast. That said, got to stay healthy into the playoffs in 2025. Kill 31. All right. Let's see. JDC, one man takes the Honolulu blue and silver off. Another puts it on. Go Lions. This is also true. All right. A couple more here, and then I really got to go. NFL bringing in Swifties to Super Bowl more than Josh and the first. I think it was a business decision. Not laughers. I think we are rooting. We are going to trade for Cam Jordan from the Saints. He wants out of New Orleans. Well, I wonder what that would cost. The Mountain Dew, the one Mountain Dew per day, a 2-liter run IV. Now it's got to be. I get the 12-ounce cup, and I only take half the cup. All right, Detroit bad guy. I just don't think Levi type hype. What am I missing? I don't get the Levi hype. I thought he played well, especially the last 2 games. But, it doesn't mean he was all world or, all pro or something like that. Such as scrutinizer, you microchip the football when you know the forward progress. We have the technology. We do, and I'm surprised they haven't. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. If you would be so kind before you check out, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. Thanks for tuning in. If there is breaking news later today, I'll get it to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, if you would be so kind, be kind to each other. Do something nice for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. We'll see you guys on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, all.
Happy trails to you until we meet again.